let's go.
Games Workshop's Basement, hosted by John Quennell, Danny McDevitt, Val Heffelfinger. I'm Dickie, and it's Grim After Dark.
Abrupt music turn off. Welcome to Grim After Dark, Warhammer 40,000's only late night show for some reason. My name is not John, it's Val, and I am here to misinform and entertain as we talk about the goings-on over the last week in the world of Warhammer. Tonight, we provide our delayed reactions to the Warhammer preview over the weekend. Maybe take a spin around the net. Actually, definitely won't, because I didn't get any of those put together. Probably talk to Danny about how his event went, and maybe get around to a couple listener questions. So without further ado, why don't we slide over to this button and then hit this button. I'm supposed to do something else. Hold on a second here. Before we go on, if you enjoy what you see on the screen, which is questionable whether or not that would be the case, or what you're listening to, you can support us by liking or subscribing wherever we'll let you. And if you're able to, throw a couple of dollars our way by becoming a member on YouTube, or I think we might have Patreon still. I'm not even sure. Or by super chatting the answer to this question: who does number 2 work for? That's very 40K appropriate, I think. 100%. So first up now, he's the co-host with the co-most. He's our competitive 40K champion, all the way from Moscow, Idaho. I don't know why he always says it like that. It's Danny McDevitt. Well, usually it was when I would press this button. How about now? Well, there you go. You're there. But
I didn't want to come out when you originally said it. Do you know why John does that, right?
I'm not entirely sure, but you're here now. That's what matters. That's what matters. I think we look pretty crisp tonight. I think there's some extra P's in the 1080 tonight.
Look,
might be like 1090p.
We're mean, and we're here to talk about Goblin Green rim bases.
Who even knows what might come up? But I do have the potential here to do a little bumper, potentially.
Wow. Right.
And because it's time for us to talk. Actually, no. Let's hold off. I
didn't know you had that kind of stuff up your sleeve, Val.
No. It's a t-shirt. I got nothing up my sleeves. It's just technically impossible.
I'd like just to point out that is not a black t-shirt.
No, it's not. It's not a black t-shirt. Not tonight. No.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
How are you, Danny? I'm a little flustered here. I'm running the board. I've got a show to make up as we go. I've got this coffee mug with an adorable Dickie, avatar on it. What's going on?
The best looking Dickie's been in weeks.
It's a good looking Dickie. I got to say,
he hasn't been on here. But yeah, no, everything's going great. Just eager to talk about these reveals, Val. Pretty exciting news this weekend about Old World that was released. So yeah, no, this is a great day. I've been up all week. I've been thinking about hey, when am I going to get my Old World? When is Old World coming out? When am I going to be able to play my first Old World tournament? My first game?
Oh my. Yeah. I mean, these are all things that we can get into down the road without fear of being mocked or derided by a certain half-tongued host. You might all be wondering where John is. He rolled a crit on hitting himself in the face. I think could be the only way to say it. And so he's out of the lineup for probably a week or two, I hope.
Yeah, Val, I'm just going to say this. It's definitely not purposeful that I've manufactured this situation where we can be alone and talk about Old World without him being here.
So you set up a dolly in a very dangerous way.
Yeah, look, I definitely didn't pay off his wife or coworkers. However, it allegedly happened.
John definitely also didn't injure his mouth in the same way that Sideshow Bob might injure themselves.
It's true. It's true.
If I hadn't seen the injury, I might think it was funny. It's in fact not funny. But he's supposed to be okay, he says, once some skin flaps are dealt with from what I
ironically, he butt dialed me this weekend.
Are you sure that the muffled sounds that you're hearing were not just him attempting to talk?
It's possible, but I'd be pretty surprised. The conversation he was having was very interesting. Anyway,
yeah. So we wish you nothing but a speedy recovery, John, because the quality of the show and the effort put behind it will definitely immediately improve once you return. Until then, though, I'm the guy pressing the buttons. Oh, and of course, Tech Priest Dickie not here either because he's on a Disney cruise. He got a lightsaber.
He was very excited about it.
Which is fine. Are you interested in one day going down to Florida and getting yourself a lightsaber?
You know, I might go for the heck of it one time. I think it might be kind of fun, like a fun process to go through. But I'm not like it's not on my bucket list. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, that's I think it kind of needs to be because I'm not sure if it was 3 figures or not, but it's a lot for that lightsaber. It's Warhammer like level of purchase. I mean,
yeah. Look, I'm not going to bat an eye after spending so much money on genuine Forge World Fire Dragon.
Genuine, and there's lots more to talk about as far as genuine Forge World is concerned, folks. But why don't we swing over? I got a couple of comments of the week, which is something I'm sure John does. I'm usually zoned out for this portion of it, but why don't we go over to the other screen? Which the PowerPoint's actually there. Look at that, man. I'm good. All right, so I think this one they can probably cut and paste this one from last week to this week. They really nailed that opening. There is some room for improvement, but overall not bad for their first podcast.
And that was
from the Iron Saint.
Fast.
What?
Oh, they're not talking about tonight. I guess they're talking about another time.
They were talking about last week, where Dickie, I think, was 1 foot out the door most of the show. But that's fine. That's fine. My door's open and it's very cold, and I wish I had closed it. And then the next one is we got a second one from Joel Adkins. I almost said Joe Ladkins, also possible. 1046
possible.
Val, love the half-baked references. I'm very pleased that someone out there got any half-baked reference that I put out there. Danny, are you a half-baked aficionado? Are you familiar with the film?
It's a wonderful movie.
It is a Thurgood kind of movie.
Dude, I gotta go see Samson.
I want to talk to Samson. Climbing to the moon. Doctor said I need a backiotomy. He had sex with my mama. I could go on, but I won't because I'm sure it's you're not allowed to talk like Dave Chappelle anymore. I'm pretty sure that like his intonation and cadence is a large part of my humor, and I don't know if that's I don't know if it's cool anymore. I don't know if it ever was. Was it? Was it?
At one point, maybe.
It definitely was. Especially when he loved weed. And if only he could have just stayed innocent and loving weed. Okay, so why don't we go back to this button and then hit this button. Pretty sure this should be
Whoa, wait. Yay.
This is the slow one. All right. State of play, Danny. You told me pre-show that you may or may not have engaged in a little bit of what they call a Warhammer tournament.
Yeah, I did allegedly play in a Warhammer event this week, Bill.
And where was it?
Pretty good. I went to Turkey Wars in Olympia, Washington. We had 64 people show up for the event. It was a really good time. I brought Necrons. I had fun with my warriors not dying. Or are we going to get? I thought we were going to get another bumper there for a second.
It was coming. Almost? Yeah, no, it definitely was coming. But I did panic and fat finger the board fast enough to turn it off again.
Fantastic. So great event. The top 10 really diverse. Like I said a couple weeks ago after playing in that event, it's a really great time to be playing competitive 40K. There's a lot of list diversity. There's a lot of different stuff going on. I went had a weird record. It was a 5-round tournament. I won 3 games. I lost no games. and I drew 2 games.
Drew 2 games.
I drew 2 games. Yeah.
Now again, I'm not much of a knowledgeable person on the edition whatsoever, but in previous ones, draws were not particularly unusual. What's going on with the draws? It seems like it would be harder to do
something. Yeah, the way that my army plays, it just kind of does its own thing. And so if my opponent can kind of race me, sometimes they can catch up with me and do that.
So what was the score in these draws? Was it just like max points, or like that seems weird.
One of them was low just because it was a low scoring game in general. We were both able to kind of nuke each other's ability to score.
Got it.
And so that was like a 58-58 draw out of 100.
Okay.
It's so pretty low. And then the other one was an 82 point draw, which is, relatively high. So yeah, that one was just a super close game. A lot of clutch things happened. Magnus, after I killed him in combat, exploded and took out one of my vehicles. I really needed to score some points on the last turn.
Oh, so I needed that.
I really needed him. Yeah.
Old Danny just made the last payment on that. Oh, jeez.
No, my ghost arc. Yeah, it was. It was pretty funny. But yeah, great time. Great opponents. No complaints. We're really well run event. Good venue.
What was the venue? Hotel.
Yeah, it was in it's like an old Red Lion, but it was kind of like they have like kind of a conference center in there.
Oh, okay.
So the rooms are kind of not too bad. Pretty inexpensive. And they came with free breakfast, which was nice.
Oh, dang. A little continental, some toast, maybe some scrambled eggs.
Paid, my friend. Yeah, scrambled eggs, got some bacon, got some sausage
links. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how you want to start your day.
That with a big plate of fatty food. Nothing really gets you going like that heart clogging, artery clogging goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sits there like a brick of cement in your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Helps you to really.
It's called a foundation, Danny.
Okay. Is it?
And I'm pretty sure
foundation for a nap.
Salt is a part of electrolytes, and athletes need those. So I think that's probably a good thing. Eggs and bacon.
Plants need them too.
A favorite opponent? Any cool match? You were talking about how there's cool list diversity out there, and the blah blah blah, 40K yada yada.
Yeah.
What is it about? What did you get to face? Anything odd or unusual?
Well, I got to face one of our patrons and one of my good friends, Kim Lors. So first round, which was great because I saw the pairings before he did, and so I was able to look across the room and stare at him until he looked and saw what the pairings were. So I got to see the reaction that he knew he was going to.
Was there a fist pump, or was it like a fuck?
It was a smile, a laugh, and then look up and then laugh harder because I was like nodding my head with a big smile. Yeah, it was good.
Because you're just mean mugging him from 100 yards away.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, actually, there's 2 mean mugs that I would love to call out just as an adjacent to State of Play, because State of Play, believe it or not, Danny, was the recommendation that as the former creative director of the FLGN, I had recommended as the name for a preview show that later became the Thursday shows, now known as the Meta Chasers. But those 2 goons have got themselves into a whole world of trouble.
What happened?
They are now shoutcasting together on Warhammer Zone, Warhammer TV. Adam Camilleri up to the big chair, everybody. Look at this guy.
Fantastic.
Next door, awesome. Shoulder to virtual shoulder. I think Paul was actually down in Tampa to do the coverage. Adam Camilleri from the comfort of his atrociously curtained room down in Australia still. But he's made it. He finally clawed his way. Did whatever obscene things he had to do to get to the big stage alongside Paul Murphy. How does this make you feel? This makes me feel so delighted.
It's wonderful. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Love Adam to death. Yeah. So I think big congrats, Adam. And I mean, going way back to what would have that been? It would have been LVO 2020 when I streamed. We did a guerrilla stream. Probably my favorite stream I ever got to do. Of the LVO was Paul and Adam, and when I got to do the GW stuff, I said 100% the only people who I would want to do the show for GW on their big show was Paul and Adam, and then I said, okay, cool, Nick Nanavati it is.
And so Nick apparently still around. He's still going to do shows, but I think he missed playing games. So he's going to swap in and out with Adam, and I think it's just a wonderful thing. Adam is definitely willed this type of thing into existence. So again, big congrats. I'm super pleased about all of that.
Yeah, I remember we came backstage, John and I, on that LVO to give you some falconry gloves.
You did. I still have it. I still have the falconry glove.
It's just one. Yeah, okay.
Yes, and there is no worse time to attempt to interact with me than when I'm attempting to do this streaming thing, which is ironic because I am doing it right now, and it's awful. My body is on fire. Everything is just all flight response. There is no fight in me whatsoever. This green screen is actually strapped to me, and I'm just running down the street right now. You don't even know.
I can tell you're breathing really hard.
I did once do a podcast on my bicycle. It was terribly
really
dangerous. Yeah, for the adjacent show a long time ago. So that's that. I guess what we could now start talking about.
Okay.
Although I don't have a bumper for it.
What?
Is the Warhammer preview? I mean, we could just do around the net. We could just do it around the net.
It is around the net technically.
All right. So if you had gone around the net, you may have actually been confronted with. Yeah, I know, man. I just sort of freestyled a bit there, under new management.
Are you like an amateur beatboxer or professional or semi-professional?
Amateur.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Oh, sorry. I was confused for a second.
Come on. I'm more of an enthusiast. I mean, if I had to be honest with you. All right, let's go over here. Whoop, that's the button I was looking for. Boom. We got ourselves. Talk about, it is so mimetic that one does not actually need to meme this thing. Danny, for our podcasting audience, what are we looking at?
All right, so we're looking at the new Skitarii sniper model. Just what a concept of a model. I
love his incredibly long exhaust dong. Why did they feel the need to hang that down there? I don't know.
I heard this weekend from somebody refer to it as a prolapsed exhaust port. I like that.
So we've got what is basically just I guess a Sicarian, or what would we call these guys again?
He's a Skitarii.
Skitarii, there you go. Yes.
And they replaced his legs with really long legs, I guess maybe so he could get a better
comically long legs. Now, I just this guy would normally be traipsing around the red planet Mars.
Yeah.
Which would just be open desert.
Sure.
Do you think there would be that much of a competitive advantage by go gadget long legging your way up? Maybe 8 feet?
You could see forever, Val.
But that much more than you could see 8 feet below? I don't know. I feel like, are you over the horizon now because you got that 8 feet?
Yeah, you could see over rocks or dunes, whatever's there. I mean, I think that there is some. Look, I think you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck with these legs like this. Is what I'm saying.
What I just wondered, we were joking about the marijuana earlier, and I think maybe this is the first negative I've seen to the widespread legalization of marijuana is this model, because whoever made this was certainly high. I don't think there could be any doubt. Might have just flopped, maybe just hit the opium hookah a little hard, just flopped back, woke up, and boom, this was on his desk. He's like, I guess I got to run with it.
I really don't know what to say about this model. I want to like it a lot, because it there are parts of it that are really cool. Like if you were to go from his, his knees up, kind of
just cut the you could just cut the long legs right off and just attach him at the ankles. Here, my cursor's on the screen. Yeah, okay, yeah, look right here. You just do a little snip, and then boom, and he's got some weird duck feet, I guess, but that's fine. That's better.
I mean, you can Cotton Hill this model and really take him down, chop his shins off, attach his feet to his knees.
Cotton Hill, yes. I was trying to think of why would we Quennell this? Feel the cottony softness. Yeah, I like. It's just so bizarre. Could this be a jump the shark moment for 40K? Could this be it? Could this be the death knell?
Come on, there's so many other ones.
This has got to be in the pantheon. I mean,
yeah, okay, but like it gets better. Like, don't worry. I honestly like the model itself isn't bad. Like, it's not poorly sculpted or anything. It's just the concept is bizarre. You know,
this is you're right. This is a
like
technically
it's a stupid idea.
You're right. This is a technically incredibly well executed, horrible idea. You're right. I had forgotten that subgenre of good job, and yeah, I don't like it's fascinating to me.
And I'm gonna buy like at least one of them, probably, maybe 2 or 3. Depending on how good they are.
Can we spot him in this picture here? Like, can we see him? Is he?
He's a sniper.
Where's he lurking? Where's he? There he is.
There's is he in the back?
There, of course. That's why. That's why he's got the still.
He can see over the front ranks, dude.
So that way he's in the back and he can see over his bros.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Okay,
he's a large target hiding behind his skirmish screen here, and he's going to nail some guys with that rifle. It's going to
like
be great.
Mars also windy, I would think. Lack of atmosphere. I just feel like he's going to be toddling all over the place, like just falling over all the time. I guess they maybe terraform Mars.
I mean, you don't know that he doesn't like have some kind of drills, so the legs actually go further down.
That's true.
And they initially appear.
I mean, there's a potential. There's a potential here. These may not be shock absorbers. I mean, those could be additional telescoping ability. This guy could maybe jack up 20, 30 feet. Who knows?
Or maybe you've only seen a fraction of his true power.
I'd like to see someone like just take some brass rod to this guy and really take him up another notch.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to do right off the bat, because this guy's going to break so fast if you don't pin him. Like, I feel like without some brass rod, there's going to be problems.
This guy, I think, should be affectionately known as Lieutenant Dan from now on.
Ooh, good name.
Old Lieutenant Dan with the 1.0 titanium legs. All right, moving on.
Okay,
hey, this is something close to your heart. Boom! Who's this fella?
Oh, fantastic. We got Imhotech. Imhotech is kind of like he's right below the Silent King. He rules over the Sawtek dynasty.
He wouldn't like to hear you say that.
Well, hey, look. I mean, he knows he's below the Silent King. I mean, look, the hierarchy is real here.
It is a dynasty.
He's a brilliant tactician. The only army that really always gets the best of him is orcs, because they don't have any tactics.
Yeah, and
it frustrates him to no end because he can't understand what they're going to do next. It just doesn't make any sense to him.
So that's what this pose is. It's him going, "Go orcs!
Yeah, you damn kids!
You silly ass orcs!"
But it's a really nice update on a model. I'm glad to see he's getting something in plastic. I hope that his rules are a little bit more. They do more for your army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's cool. He's cool.
I wonder what does the current Imhotech look like? Is he?
He's fine cast. The cloak is very similar but shittier.
Oh, this guy is. Whoa, this is not a particularly like wild difference, is it?
No. It's just a nice update. I heard again. This was a great quote from someone.
There he is.
It's like they re-rendered him in HD.
Yeah, straight up.
And like same pose.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, it's fascinating that like. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Too far.
Stilts McGee back. Lieutenant Dan back on the screen. Yeah, I think this is cool. Like, how do you feel about that? I mean, we've touched on this a little bit. I've called it the embiggening of the most recent Space Marine stuff, which we'll see some more of actually in a little bit. Rather than like the full-on reimagining, like this is genuinely just a redo.
Yeah, he's more proportioned.
Got a nicer base.
Yeah, like a bigger base because he needs one.
Still got those jack traps though. I love those, like those thick robotic trapezoids behind his head though.
That's to help him lift things.
He's good. Yeah, he's less chunky. He doesn't have the GW power squat anymore. That's good.
No, yeah.
Standing up straight on his own two legs. I think Imhotech all overall. Big thumbs up here.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great, and that cloak is really cool.
It is very cool.
The paint job on it is like really interesting. They did a great job.
But not like when you usually say interesting, like you mean like you actually think it's nice.
No, I do think it's really nice. It's just not me trying to politely say that it looks stupid. It looks cool.
So the next two books coming out, I guess this means are Kron's and Lieutenant Dan and his pals.
Yep, which we knew. Necrons and Admech are the next two books, and then after that, we're getting like Orcs, Chaos Space Marines.
Wasn't it? I had Orcs. Like I have a bookmark in my brain to check in on 40K in the spring. Isn't the Orcs like far away?
Well, yeah. So it's going to be next year, but the schedule says that these are getting released in winter 2023.
Okay.
So hopefully that means that these books will both be released this year. Which is good. I'm glad.
Winter 20. Oh, you think this could be a pre-Christmas release?
It's possible. Yeah.
Dang. Seems like a lot to cram in there.
Well, yeah, and they're losing a couple data sheets too, which is important.
Really, so, they had some legended things.
I think they might be doing some legended models. I think they might be legending some of the fine cast models that they have, like some of the other special characters that haven't gone to plastic yet.
That is one of the things, though, that I do like about the embiggeting approach is that you don't expand the amount of data slates, so you don't have to legend anything because it just becomes the new thing. So like when we see the other guys later on, like you can have the small guys or you can have the big guys. It doesn't matter as long as they're in the right size base. Seems to make more sense than what they were doing for a while there. I like it.
No, I like this release strategy a lot. I'm excited. And he's also not the only kit that's coming out. I don't know if that's true or not for Admech, but I know for Necrons, it sounds like they're getting more kits.
Just doubling back to Lieutenant Dan over here.
Okay.
So how do you get like maybe one of the best like designed ranges that they have, which is the Adeptus, sorry, I don't know if it's Adeptus or not, but the Mechanicum.
Yeah. Adeptus Mechanicus. You were right.
Well, there's Mechanicus and there's Mechanicum, like the Horse Heresy dudes.
And then there's the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Gotcha. So
Mechanicum is 30K. Adeptus Mechanicus is what their current incarnation.
They later, I assume, have roots in the Mechanicum. Correct. I would think.
Yeah.
Like this guy. I mean, this guy's got deep roots. Obviously,
maybe
deeper than most.
Know what's going on below the surface here, but
like some of those models are like just so gorgeous. Like the way the conveyor and like the all the vehicles have this like beautiful. I hate when people say Art Deco, but I'm just gonna say it. They look Art Deco, very Metropolis vibe to it. If you guys are familiar with silent film.
It's like 50s sci-fi, right? Like that's kind of a lot.
Well, that's what comes with these guys, with like Castellan robots and stuff like that. It gets very 50s, but like it was more like a 20 like 1920s futurist style the Mechanicum has. And then and then it's replaced with the sort of like the B movie like sci-fi style of the Castellan robots and Stilty McGee here. So yeah, I wonder how they took such a hard turn. I mean, this guy should not take any quick turns at all. He wants to slow, steady, one direction. Don't get too much momentum going.
Don't get crazy.
No. All right, so
he might telescope down if he's got to move real fast. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Imagine how like buff his legs are, lifting these big heavy legs all the time, like with his little tiny thighs.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, this is all mechanical stuff. I mean, and also
but he's still got to move the legs. I mean, he's not just like.
Oh, you're right. It's actually below the knee. You have a point there. You don't know if this is really meat. He might just have pants. It's not necessarily meat under there.
All right, so
could be a huge piston.
Probably it is meat. Based on the fluff of Skitarii, they cut their legs off at the knees so that they can walk forever. So that they have metal feet, so their feet don't get ground to dust, which was like what had happened to the original Skitarii. And so modern Skitarii like to honor that, I guess.
Do you think the chicken walker guys, like who are like the gimps, like
Yeah, the perpetual motion machines.
yeah, the that are being ridden? Do you think that those guys look at these guys and are like, at least I'm not that guy?
I mean, probably if they have any, coherent thoughts, I would say that's the other important part. They might just be lobotomized.
I might be plugged into a machine and being ridden like a BDSM slave, but I'm not that guy.
Yeah,
at least he's got like standards. All right, so let's move on. Boom. Whoa.
So I was really excited because I had heard a rumor about these guys coming out, and I was like, oh, I can't wait. I love Eldar. I love striking scorpions. And I hate to say, I hate to say that I'm disappointed with new plastic aspect warriors. But
what's
these guys, I just think that they're really flat-footed.
Interesting. They are equipped with some rocks. Yeah, I guess these guys are supposed to be. Well, they're not Howling Banshees, you know.
Yeah, but they should. I mean, they're close combat guys. I feel like they should be more dynamic. I'd like to see them maybe running.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just
this
seems
guy's got like a real kya vibe to him.
He's really angry. He's upset. He's got his war mask on. Yeah,
I mean that's pretty good. We got the mandibles still on these dudes.
Yeah, look, I mean the models like themselves, like the details are great. They're very well made. Again, like a reimagining of what the current Finecast things are into plastic, on slightly bigger bases. And they look really cool. I just was hoping for just a little bit more on something that I've been waiting for like 15 years.
More than that, probably significantly more than that. Like these are like they're replacing OG Jess Goodwin sculpts, aren't
well,
they?
there's no.
Have there been more than one striking sculpt? Okay,
there's actually been. This is the 4th striking scorpion sculpt.
This is the 4th. Okay, not so bad. I saw some rumors too about with the Eldar release there being a pretty big completion of the overall Aeldari refresh that has been in progress for a few editions now.
Yeah, and really looking forward to Warp Spiders, which would be replacing an actual Jess Goodwin sculpt, and maybe some more of the Phoenix Lords. That would be really excellent. I would love to see more of that.
That'd be incredibly dope. And imagine like that is that's one where if like hopefully they're not just holding a gun.
Right.
That like Warp Spiders are like flickering in and out of reality and shit.
Teleporting around, shooting, jumping off of stuff. I mean, yeah.
Jumping off. Don't give them that idea. Don't give them the idea to just jump off of stuff, Danny. We know what they'll do. I mean, it's great.
I like it when they jump off of stuff. Scouts look great. The new scouts look awesome.
Look at these guys. I actually didn't really take the. Oh, he's got a good point. That is a good 2-finger point. He's in charge, I think.
The heads are so much better. Like it makes these models sing. Honestly, they're very nice. I'm very excited to see like some more scouts on the table.
Yeah. And again, I like a lot that these guys don't like. They're not like prime. They don't have some weird new inter scouts. They're not like infil scouts.
These aren't Primaris Space Marine scouts.
Yeah, they're just like resculpted scouts. It's and again like it's such an abrupt shift to going from the Primaris approach to just redoing models, and I really like redoing models. I think it's a great way to do this. It's kind of what I always moaned about with Primaris and kind of wish they had done, and now they're doing it. So I got to tip my cap. G-dubs.
I think they're doing a good job here, for sure. And this is a good way to release this stuff too, I think, in these Kill Team boxes.
Yeah, I really do like that. Although I would kind of prefer if Kill Team was, and they still do this a lot, but like I like it when Kill Team is like just like wacky shit, like just one-off like groups that like you're not going to see, rather than like a coveted kit. Like that's suddenly like loot boxed inside of Kill Team.
I hear what you're saying.
I think are they doing?
There's new terrain in here.
So there's new terrain, but they're doing a cool thing too, where they're not. I'm pretty sure they're not including this terrain. This terrain set is actually separate.
I believe that's correct,
if I recall correctly. So that's kind of a nicer way to do it too, because people are probably well terrained. I think they have a lot of terrain. Did we want to look at any of the AOS stuff before we?
Yeah, we sure can. There's only 2 AOS kits, I think, actually, that are coming out.
Because whoa, no, not that guy. Whoa,
Too far, Val. I have a lot of thoughts about that.
whoa. Let's back it up. All right, we got some options here. We got Dragon Guy and Beetle Guy. Let's go Dragon
those
Guy.
are the 2 models.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. I'm running the show. Dragon Guy.
He's pretty cool. I love the little dragon, and I love that it's like crouched on a ruin and kind of crawling down it. I think that looks great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to cut his ass off and put on something cool like a high elf.
This is a point. This is an interesting point, though, because the design style of the AOS dragon it reminds me a lot of a film I was very fond of in the 90s. I believe it was Dragonheart.
Dragonheart with Sean
Connery. Yes, the dragon. And I love that style of dragon, like that look of dragon. It's very anthropomorphic. It lends itself to a talking dragon, and these guys are sort of like very individualized and things. And also, yes, this guy screams like Chaplin to me, like 40K Chaplin.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what he is. The relictors are supposed to be that.
Isn't there a relictor model that came out in 40K too? Who's the guy who holds the skull in the cabinet, but he's not a chaplain? It came out with Indomitus.
Oh, that's the
Executioner? Judicer. Excellent. Yeah, no, I mean, overall cool. So this is my thing. This is what I was going to say. Do we think that we're going to see dragons that are like this, or are they going to keep the sort of worm dragon style that they always had in fantasy?
So there's always something that's going to be extremely nostalgic to me about the serpentine kind of dragon that Warhammer has like Warhammer Fantasy is famous for. But I much prefer a larger bodied, more realistic looking dragon like this one. Yeah.
More realistic looking dragon.
Well, I mean, like physiologically like possible.
Right. No,
yeah, not like this.
No, I get what you're saying. You want your verisimilitude to be able to continue to hang in there. You don't want the disbelief to be suspended.
Yeah, like how is Indrognir gonna eat like anybody? Like he can't. His mouth is too thin. You know, like he's not.
I mean,
he could bite him.
Maybe he's like a snake. You know. And then, like, it'd be kind of funny if there was like an after battle version of all the fantasy dragons.
Could you imagine how
they just got all like dudes pressed against their ribs? I like it. Guy on Beetle.
That guy's cool. The Beetle's really cool. I love the Kurnoth guy. He's gonna make maybe a really cool treekin in my wood elf army.
Yeah, those old Kurnoth hunters. Yeah,
dude. I got 6 of them so far on square bases. So
the problem with that is that they've I'm really curious to see what dryads they use. Dryads.
Yo, you don't think they're gonna use the plastic ones?
I don't know, man, because they're not because those guys are the same design style as what became Sylvaneth. And obviously in 8th edition they had the new tree man that was of that style, like these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But in the early old world photos, of course, there were some shots of very old ancient war dancers flanked by an old tree man. So I don't know what they will be.
Yeah, you know what, and I'm prepared in either way. I've got a tree man ancient in the new style, and I've got like 3 of the old shitty tree men, like just ready to rock and roll on 50 mils.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to update my range if I'm ever going to like paint something competitively.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can definitely talk to
look at the mouth parts on the Beetle. That thing is sick.
Oh, he's got damn. He's got like a looks like a Aeldari.
Oh yeah. Is that like a butterfly like proboscis that it can like drink stuff out? Maybe it like sucks people's blood. I don't know.
I don't even know what a proboscis is. I didn't even know these models existed. These guys are cool as shit. Look at those guys
look cool. Yeah. You haven't seen those guys?
No, never looked at them closely. I love these guys. The hunters. Yeah. Sylvaneth. Glad to see him get some love. I don't think they've gotten much. And of course, Ilariel in their line on the even bigger Beetle.
Right.
Goddamn.
So Beetle faction.
Absolutely. So without further ado, shall we?
Yes, we shall. Please.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Hey, buddy.
Ow.
Remember all those people last week who were saying that they didn't believe that that was a GW Pegasus and that it was a fake? How brokenhearted, by the way, everyone we've been doing a bad podcast job tonight. We're now looking at a picture of the Lord on Pegasus from the recently revealed Brettonian line for the upcoming Old World, the relaunch of Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah, I mean, this is great.
What a model. Yeah, he just beautiful. First of all, the paint job, phenomenal. They really went to town on this, and it's got kind of still the kind of old world, more muted on the color vibes, but the colors they just pop really well. It's just a good combination with the black and the red.
Someone pointed out on a podcast I was listening to, look at the eyes beneath the helm on this one. Like, so he's wearing a helmet, and it's like a full like bonk helmet, and they've painted the like face and eyes underneath it.
Oh my God. Well, I wonder maybe the faceplate's removable.
That's an interesting point.
Because there is a bare-headed version of him too, with a sick mustache.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there. Yeah,
but yeah, just what a fantastic model, right? It just screams Brettonia.
Yeah, it screams, holy shit, I hope they make a lot more new plastic kits for Old World. This is great. And also incredibly versatile. Like this is here's another version of it. This might be
the Duke, maybe.
Well, I mean, I don't want to. Let me see if I can pull something up over here while we're talking. But
I don't think it's Lewincourt or whatever. I mean, obviously he's not alive at this point in time, right?
He's not alive. He's yet to be born. However, he does have a few things that are common to common items to kings of Brettonia. This may be the Orc Slayer. Well, I can't remember his actual full name. But let me just see if I can find a picture of this guy.
It does say in the description right underneath it that you can build your choice of lofty duke or a slightly less high-ranking baron.
Well, I think this is supposed to be the less high-ranking baron. But let's have a look here. I forgot
how bad that model was.
You think it's bad? I think it's cool. For its day, I thought it was pretty cool. But I mean, like, he's small. That's one problem he's got.
Well, he's like squished.
But I mean, just looking at that, the crown, the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, maybe we got someone. I saw another. And by the way, I'm stealing this bit from another. There's like 5 Old World YouTubers, and I'm one of 10 people who watches them. But there is one guy. There is one guy who was theorizing that this might be the Orc Slayer, but we'll see.
Oh,
we can't see. We can't see the sword very super well on him, because the hilt of the sword would be a big thing. Like if that is truly the same sword.
It looks like there's white in the middle of it, so that's like maybe a fleur de lis, and then maybe some like I don't know. It's like curling gold on the cross guard.
Yep. I don't know. I could just just stare into this guy's eyes all day. He looks great. But 3, not one, but 3 different options come out of this.
Yeah, at least 3 different heads, right? Which is cool for converting your other heroes if you want to.
Well, I mean, it's 3 different riders, really, 3 different bodies. Because now we have the
they're all different. You're right.
And this is the battle standard on Pegasus, which is dope. Because if you buy this guy and you get another kit that maybe we'll see as we keep clicking through this, boom, got yourself a BSB. Didn't even have to order from Forge World. Boom. Not too bad.
Really cool.
A lot of things, and speaking of which, the Knights of the Realm on foot, a contentious model.
This is going to be very important for Brettonian players to make their armies look better, I think, this kit.
Yeah, so it's a 3D printer. But I mean,
Well,
this this bodes incredibly well, I'd say, for the
I'm sorry.
model
If you
quality.
wanted real models, yeah, then you're gonna want this kit.
Yes, for sure. Uh, but I mean, this bodes like these are both plastic kits, so we
Yep.
still have. I think this is there's two. I guess this is it, right? Well, that they've revealed so far. Um,
Sure.
but just and they've got the legacy plastic kits. But this gives me like I was a big fan of the Cities of Sigmar line. I don't know about you,
Mhm.
but like just
No, they were
the
cool.
amount, the degree of detail on these guys. Um, they look mean. They're really living on all of their acreage on these big 25 millimeter bases. I think
Yeah, they're big boys.
these are a slam dunk. And although they do have a unified paint scheme, they still have sort of that noisy vibe that Bretonians have, which I think is cool.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you painted them up to have that even noisier vibe, I think they would still look great like
Yep.
that. I think they would look awesome. Um, yeah, I really like a couple of things that I really noticed is you can make plastic questing knights if you want to out of these guys.
Oh, with the double handed, yeah, yes,
Yeah, which would be cool.
because they have
See
these
how
guys with like big battle axes, and you just need to find some like shelving units in miniature form that you could glue onto the back of your Knights of the Realm. But
yes, for their mobile libraries. Yeah.
yes, I really love that about them. That actually, there's something hinted on later on in this about how this does look. They do seem to suggest this is it. Plus the resin stuff. We'll keep going. But that there's essentially going to be a re-release of a bunch of metal units and heroes.
Yeah.
That is the part of the line that Grail Knights and Questing Knights live in. I was really hoping that they were going to tip their hand to a combo kit for Knights Errant and Grail Knights, but
That would be
perhaps not
cool.
meant to be.
Yeah. Or even something. Well, the original Knight kit does make Knight Errant.
They do, yes, but so yeah, it's
Um,
Questing and Grail that looks like they're going to be in metal.
yeah,
But
which is obviously not ideal, right? Um, so hopefully there's a lot of heads in these
yes,
boxes. I'm not sure what that exactly looks like. Looking at it right now, I am seeing a lot of duplicates, so that makes me a little worried for the amount of different heads that you actually will have available to give your other knights. The other thing I noticed in these folks is the female battle standard or the female standard
yep,
bearer,
right here. Look
which
out,
got
internet.
which got some people a little perturbed. I think I saw.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to care about those
Yeah,
people.
that's fine. Yeah.
I think it's super badass.
It looks great. I think this model. I think that model rules. I'm really excited to see these guys on the table.
Yes, and
So I'll be playing.
one of the things I was going to say that is I think is contentious about this is just amongst Bretonian players over the years. This has both been something that has been wish listed and also sort of derided as like, well, it's not truly Bretonian. Why would you take your knight off his horse? How do you feel? Do you think these guys fit in?
Yeah, of course they do. How else are you going to storm a castle? Like what a silly thing. You're not going to ride your horse up like the drawbridge. Like you're going to have to
No. You fill them
or a
out with
ladder.
peasants until you can just ride your horse onto the battlement. I think that's quite clearly what you do. Where you
Just a
knock down the
mountain of
wall with the
dead.
trebuchet. Yeah, no, it's good. I think they're fantastic. Another thing I think that is very helpful about this is that these weapons, especially the swords and the shields, were revealed in a developer diary
Yeah.
a long time ago, sort of like the Sisters of Battle thing that they did. They also revealed a bunch of similar renders of Tomb King stuff,
Oh, cool.
hinting perhaps that there is some plastic Tomb King kits coming our way,
You know,
which would be kind
Val,
of
if
neat.
they were to do a re-release of Tomb King's skeletons, um, that would be something I would be pretty excited about because those models, like the skeletons and the chariots, are just dog shit models, and like I
Not
can't
good.
wait for them to get some new ones.
It's not good. Although this also is fulfilling my prophecy of net new models. I don't think that these guys existed as an official model, a Pegasus hero for Bretonia. There are the Pegasus
There was
unit. There's the Pegasus unit,
sure there was a metal Pegasus Lord, but he's real old.
like the
Um,
Marauder one.
There was a Marauder. There was a Brettonian character on Pegasus for sure. But yeah, not a nice model. This is a great model. Definitely an upgrade.
Basically, you have to buy these because they're sick. So getting back into some of the legacy kits now, we got the Pegasus Knights on their way back.
Yeah, what do you think about the change here?
What do you mean? What, the bases?
New bases.
So I think there's a bit of a camera trick going on here. So these guys were originally on 40 mils. People are theorizing that these are longer than they are wide.
They were on 40s and 50s.
Were they ever? I don't think they were ever on 50s, dude.
They were, for sure. I'm telling you, yeah.
Okay, look, fine. I'm not going to question you because you actually did this. I've only read about it. Those look like the Monstrous Cav, basically.
Those look like, yeah, I was going to say those look like 50 by 75.
They could very well be. However, I mean, this is a Pegasus.
Yeah.
This is also a Pegasus.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of the tricky things with Old World is this sort of collision of like, because this model is actually pretty sick. I still love this thing. Like, I think these are great.
Yeah, I mean, Val, one thing I don't know if you've seen it, maybe I missed it. Have you seen any characters actually in units?
You have yet to see a character in a unit.
So they might not actually physically join units like to be like ranked up inside of them and stuff like that, I feel like.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always been a problem for these bros. But they're skirmish. They were skirmish.
Yeah, ranking on Pegasus Knights has always been garbage. I agree with that.
You're going to definitely want different lengths on the... Yeah, having them all the same length of pogo stick, problematic. Ask this guy. You don't want three of these guys.
He's the pogo bastard.
Standing in a row. And then we get to the Knights of the Realm. Again, this is just a rehash of a previous unit. Here comes something that I found as a real pop. Men-at-Arms. I love this unit.
Oh, what a cool kit. Like,
great
really,
kit.
they are.
This is a really great kit. The guy with the musician with the frogs beating the drum. I think that's fantastic.
He's cool.
So here's something I want to really highlight. These regiments and future regiments are returning in boxes that contain enough plastic munitions to make a full regiment, not just a rank or two. With the Peasant Bowman box, you'll build a unit of 32 archers.
That's a lot of archers.
That's a bunch of archers. So, that's, I don't know. I don't want to risk saying good value in Games Workshop in the same breath. I mean, this is a luxury item, and I'm comfortable with higher than usual prices. But I remember when AOS happened, I don't know if you recall this, they went from like 10 dudes in a box to like 20 plus dudes in a box when AOS came out. And I thought that was a good way of trying to get people to see the value, like to want to like switch over to it. I don't know how the pricing changed with it, but this feels hopeful. Like, of all the things that are hopeful, this is particularly hopeful to me.
So just to draw a good parallel to this, because this was something that I noticed too, is when Horus Heresy was released, instead of releasing 10-man re-release, they released 20-man boxes for all the tactical squads. So you really get a whole tactical squad, a whole Terminator squad, that kind of stuff. So maybe you're seeing that kind of thing. And it might be a situation where unit sizes are a little bit less variable than they were before.
Interesting.
Like they are in current 40K and AOS. So that's maybe something to consider. So yeah, I wouldn't build any movement trays yet for sure. If you're kind of prepping. But it'll be interesting to see what units actually look like. Like, what's a full regiment? Is that like, are you buying a regiment of archers? Are you buying like, 10-man? Are you buying 16 of them? Because they used to be in a box of 16, which is such an awkward number.
Yep.
So I actually like the 32. I mean, pretty much that was what you would buy anyway when you were buying an archer unit, I feel like.
You put two boxes together. And I think that is sort of the AOS 40K model too, is that, you have, one box is good enough. And then if you want to juice up the unit, you get two boxes.
Sure.
It does make me wonder too, like looking up here, how many do we see here? 6. So this is 18 here.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
this isn't even 32 here. This is
this is also 18.
Okay. Well,
so because these guys came in like the sprue had 4 models.
Yeah,
right.
It's hilarious sprue. I wonder if that got retooled at all. I really do.
And the knights, are they going to be 8 or are you going to get 16 knights in a box? That might be kind of weird. I was thinking maybe 12 because they're also in 4s for how.
Oh yeah, 12 feels good and good, pretty beefy.
Yeah.
Also, still really interested to see what this winds up being. A great amount of consternation amongst the square base community about the sizing of these bases.
Yeah.
We got the Handmaiden of the Lady.
What an awesome model.
Giving off what was that, 7th edition Alariel vibes, I think, pretty heavily.
Yeah, she does look like Alariel. With her staff in the air.
Yeah, not that it's later revealed that the Lady of the Lake is in fact a elfin. Is it just like an elf talking into like a coffee can? Is that what it turns out to be? Yeah. And that kind of made me upset with some point. Again, I'm regurgitating things I've heard elsewhere, but like, the
flowers.
Yeah, the tactical flowers. That's nice. They are nice. This in general is nice. I like her actually probably a little bit more than the Pegasus, although I do think she might be wearing shoes, which is problematic for me.
Oh, okay.
Want to see them
Why?
toes?
Are you a Tarantino kind of a guy? Is that what you're trying to say?
Only Uma Thurman, you can be in my movie, but only if you take your shoes off.
Now look at the older version of like a damsel on foot, and you'll see that this model actually mirrors that model, but it's just
really
good.
I could try. Talk amongst yourselves. Damsel on foot, not feet.
She kind of had like a crystal staff kind of a thing going on.
Less floaty as well, I'm noticing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's less magical. Now she's way more magical.
Yes, this is clearly a much better version. We don't even need to.
Absolutely.
She's I like this one.
She's way more modest.
Here's our recap. Yeah, this is in fact very. This is what gives me actually really reminds me of Maid Marian's costuming from the Kevin Costner Robin Hood.
Oh, Prince of Thieves.
Prince of Thieves. Yeah. Feels similar. And then here's the other Forge World resin characters that we're going to see. Again, we're not really forced into getting these standard bearers because you just buy that plastic Pegasus and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, and just pop that banner on a normal night. You should be good to go.
Right? Why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's what people have done since time immemorial.
And another cool thing about these dudes, going all the way back up to these guys, the torsos, arms, and heads separate.
Awesome. Well, maybe you can even glue them right to the legs on the knight bodies. That's what I'm saying, to make some questing knights. That would look super sick with the two-handed weapons.
To me and these guys, I can't believe they're. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. They're so
horses, man.
These guys are riding ponies. It's actually funny. In fact, when we look at this guy, sorry everybody, I've scrolled now down to the battle standard bearer. He, to me, is clearly riding a much larger horse.
Yeah.
Like by some order of magnitude, like a properly large horse.
I didn't notice his Morning Star before. That's cool.
Oh, that is cool. Forge World resin though. Yeah, that's cool. But like this horse strikes me as just like enormous compared to the Knights of the Realm horses. Maybe it won't be. But he's probably closer to a properly proportioned horse versus riders thing. Like, they are small. All right, that's fine. And then this is an interesting thing. This is the Field Trebuchet. It was a fine cast model last we saw it. And apparently they claim that they have retooled, so fine cast is not a thing anymore. We're talking about high quality Forge World resin, none of that fine cast stuff. Apparently the Field Trebuchet has been retooled to be done in Forge World resin as a Forge World kit along with those other characters. I
hated building this. Have you ever built one of these before?
I have two. They were painted and built when I bought them.
Okay.
And they're metal as well.
And it was one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
Apparently a nightmare. Yes. Very cool kit. I mean, with all the different like little villagers working on it. This guy apparently hewing this column to shoot with the trebuchet. Like, this guy is definitely cramming to get his homework done. Like, he was supposed to have that done well before the battle. I don't think
I like when they.
Now is not the time or place to be busting up old columns to chuck at somebody. But yes,
Did
go
you
ahead.
see on the pickaxe guys, like in between his pickaxe and his arm, that they didn't quite Photoshop out the background?
This guy right here.
Yeah. Look in between, like right there. It's like kind of a darker gray. That might be an optical illusion, but it sure doesn't look like it to me.
Could be just someone's hairy penis right there. If you just look
That's
closely
right.
enough.
That's what. Yeah, if you see a pube.
They shoot in the nude. Gina, it's very serious. Just they don't want to contaminate anything. That's why it's nothing
In a
strange.
clean room. It's really weird.
So that's it. That's our Warhammer preview, amigo.
Well, is it? There's one more thing, Val.
What was it?
We got a launch date.
Oh, we got a launch window.
Well, okay, yeah, you're right.
And there was also, if this was a John production, he'd have a screen cap of the alleged Warhammer official account posting, "Get ready for February, Old World's coming." So and then immediately deleting it, which they very well may have done. That could be a thing.
Was that a rumor?
It's not a rumor. Like there's a screen cap of the Warhammer official account being like, "Old World this February, get ready."
Cool.
And then it was deleted. So who knows what that means?
Well, they just don't want to promise any particular day just in case they need to give themselves some breathing room, like they did with Epic.
I mean, even February feels like it's pushing it because of, AOS 4.0, very likely in June. There's a lot of overlap in the model ranges, even if they're kind of making it so that you're not supposed to use AOS models for a lot of the old world stuff. People will because they're so much nicer. Like it seems like it's gonna really stress them out trying to push this game out. It already is stressing them out. Yeah. And how are the model so many questions. Like how's rules gonna work? Like they're gonna release probably going to release some form of compendium like you've seen for Index 40K. Like that'll be the equivalent, but none of the models are currently for sale. So will they then also release everyone else at the same time?
I am a little worried about that part, right? Like they said, like when they released Heresy, they said that they were going to release rules for the Imperial Guard units and also demons on release, and it took them
months and months,
more than a year.
That is months and months in my defense. But it's not immediately.
We'll see.
Ravening Hordes, proud tradition in Warhammer Fantasy, a little book called Ravening Hordes, where they usually release army lists to get you by. So would not be out of the historical normalcy to release a book that has all rules for everybody. My question is, will they re-release all the orc plastic kits at the same time as all the Brettonian plastic kits, or will they wait until they do the book? How does that work? I've also seen some rumor. Go ahead.
Or I mean, are they going to put army lists in the book for those factions? I mean, I have no idea what this even looks like. Do you know that? Are they releasing army books?
Yes. I don't know. I don't think that's been firmly stated. Although actually I think it was alluded to somewhere.
Okay.
Or the website. Game of Fantasy or Legend. There are plenty of exciting things, including miniatures and books. So there you go. So who knows? Maybe they'll be each one is a mini campaign. I don't know. I saw some rumors that Empire and Orcs follow Tomb Kings and Brettonia, and then there's a narrative element to that. So we'll see. But I don't know. It's cool. I just want to make sure the game kind of plays out of the box.
That dude, I just want to crush somebody's flank. Just give me that.
Get right up in there. Maybe right up in the rear too. Who knows?
That's a +2, Val.
That is a +2. Yeah, how does it all work? Is it going to be a fully new thing? Are they going to use boogers? Are they going to have new stat lines? There's so many questions.
They said that they're taking their favorite things about 6th through 8th, right? And so
I think they expand, like they've alluded to a pushback mechanic, which is 3rd edition. So like they're going to. It feels like it's going to be a game designed by the designers who are there right now. Like rather than a continuation of someone else's work.
I'm very excited to see what happens. Like honestly, as long as it's got ranks and flanks, and like I have, like the rules
Serpentine
are kind of
dragons.
Vaguely the same. No, I don't care about serpentine dragons. They can die in a fire. But like as long as it's kind of like vaguely like fantasy, I'm going to be excited about it because the IP is what I honestly get the most excited about for fantasy.
Yeah. God, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Also, I got a GT coming up, so I don't have to wait very long. So
that's right. Of course, I knew
Which
that.
will be like the week after the next significant. They hinted at the next reveal being at the Warhammer World Championships out in Atlanta. Do you have a golden ticket, Danny?
No.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm not good enough.
Well, I'm sure you are. I don't know if they have any golden tickets in Idaho.
We had one like an hour and a half north at a tournament, but I wasn't playing in that one competitively at the end of 9th. So,
well, I think we've done most of what we set out to do. We've logged a solid hour and 5. That was a solid hour and 5.
It's amazing that we talked that much about Old World and a tournament and some new releases that Games Workshop came out with.
I mean, that's the thing about this hobby. You can just chat like two old gals.
Just instead of gals, we're guys, 2 old guys.
2 old guys. Or, I mean, this is Grim After Dark, All right. Without further ado, I think I'll abruptly end the show. I think we're both very excited for Old Worlds. Can't wait to see what happens. If there is a rules review that we're allowed to do, I will actually participate. Gosh darn it.
I'm excited.
So without further ado, something Grim After Dark.
It's time to step into the grim darkness where nerds gather talking Warhammer madness. Grim After Dark, the podcast with the hosts John, Danny, and Val, but they're not the most. Claiming to be experts, but it's all a facade. Talking about battles and dice rolls, they're all odd. Trying to sound cool with their Warhammer talk, but I'm here to expose. It's all just squawk. Nerds, everywhere I see talking Warhammer this, like it's a decree. But let me tell you, homie, it is all just a game. In the real world, homie, we are not the same. So put down the dice, step out of the dark. It's time to live life, nerd, make your own mark. Grim After Dark, the nerds playground. Talking Warhammer this, acting all profound. But when I listen, it's all just a bunch of noise. I love roasting nerds and their stupid ass toys. Stupid ass toys, I wanna grab them, put my hands around the neck, squeeze, Warhammer squeeze, until they can't breathe again. Tell a friend, I'm out here roasting nerds again.